Okay, boys and girls, today I'm going to show you how to do 3-digit subtraction using the expanded method. And remember, all expanded method is breaking up your subtraction problem into hundreds, tens, and ones. So let's go ahead and set up our problem. 563 minus 374. Our first step is to go ahead and break up 563 into hundreds, tens, and ones. So we ask ourselves, how many hundreds are in 563? That would be 5. So that would be 500. Our next step is how many tens are in 563. And that would be 6. So that would be 60. Now last, how many ones are in 563? And that would be 3. The next step is to go ahead and break up 374 into hundreds, tens, and ones. So how many hundreds are in 374? That would be 3. So we would do 300. How many tens are in 374? That would be 7. So that would be 70. And last, how many ones are in 374? And that would be 4. Notice everything is neatly aligned. I have my ones, tens, and hundreds. You want to make sure it's nicely lined up. If it is not neatly lined up, it's very easy to make a mistake. So we want to make sure that we're very neat and that we can actually read our problem. So our next step is we are going to go ahead and subtract. Now, a lot of times I see this, boys and girls. I see a lot of times where boys and girls they're looking at this portion and they're like, oh, look at all these addition signs, and they start adding. You want to be really careful. It's a very common mistake. You want to be very careful that you actually know that you are subtracting. So can we do 3 minus 4? If I have 3, can I take away 4? No, that's impossible. So we're going to go next door and grab 10 more. And our 60 now becomes a 50. And what I always ask everybody, does my 10 go to outer space? No, my 3 now becomes a 13. Now we can ask, can we do 13 minus 4? Yes, we can do that. 13 minus 4 equals 9. Once we're done with the ones, we move on to the tens. Can we do 50 minus 70? No, that's impossible. We can't do that. So we have to go next door and grab 10 more. But instead of ones, it's actually 10 tens. And it doesn't go to outer space. Now the 100, which is 10 tens, changes our 50 to 150. Now we ask ourselves, can we do 150 minus 70? And sometimes we get confused because we're starting to look at really large numbers. But at this point, you can just say, What is 15 minus 7? Oh, I know that 15 minus 7 is 8. And then we go ahead and add that 0. So it now becomes 80. This is where it's really important. If 15 minus 7, if that's hard for you to do, you know that that is something that you need to work on. Because we're starting to get into bigger and bigger numbers. So we need to make sure that we understand how to do single and double digit addition or subtraction before we start getting into triple. So we want to make sure we know that. That's called math fluency. That's where you automatically know that 15 minus 7 is 8. So now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to the hundreds. What is 400 minus 300? It's 100. So our answer now is 100 plus 80 plus 9. So our answer is 189. And that is how we solve triple digit subtraction using the expanded method.